Hello, my name is Joseph Santos, and today I'm going to present my graduate research project for Dr. Diaz Sanchez and my fellow classmates. This graduate project is discussing a creation of a total reward system for a financially troubled company. The company that I have chosen to talk about is GameStop. The outline of my presentation is going to start with the thesis statement, my mission statement, my vision statement, the history of GameStop, my literature review on individual, group, and merit pay plans, the limitations of study, the suggestions, the methodology, my recommendations, and I'm going to conclude with my conclusion. So first, the thesis statement. If GameStop had an incentive program where the employees understand and they're aware of the program as well as being motivated to perform well, will the company struggle to stay open? The mission statement is to deliver customer satisfaction. The vision statement is together we hold a passion for gaming, a commitment to our industry, and a disciplined business perspective to continuously drive values with shareholders, customers, vendors, and employees. First, I'm going to talk about the history of GameStop. It was founded in 1984 by James McCurry and Gary Cusin. It was originally named Babbage from 1984 to 1999, and its headquarters is in Grapevine, Texas. In 1984, GameStop traces roots to Babbage, Dallas, a Dallas, Texas-based software retailer founded in 1984 by former Harvard Business School classmates James Mercury and Gary Cusin. In 1987, software is split from B. Dalton and begins operating as a software and starts to focus on video game sales. Babbage begins selling Nintendo games this year as well. In 1988, the company went public, and by 1991, video games accounted for two-thirds of Babbage's sales. Then, in 1989, Babbage began losing business because of severe allocations of video games. In 1999, new strip malls began to open the store of GameStop, and they created a website so that consumers can purchase their games online. Babbage was sold to Barnes& Noble for $215 million, which opened up 30 stores in the strip malls. In 2000, Barnes& Noble acquired operator of 400 Funko Land video game stores, mainly in strip malls, and Babbage's became an owned subsidiary of Funko, which changed its name to GameStop Inc. Then in 2002, Barnes& Noble completes a partial initial public offering of GameStop, which retains 67% stake in GameStop. In 2003, GameStop had its best record sales of 1.58 billion sales and record profits of 63.5 million. In 2004, Barnes & Noble distributes its remaining stake in GameStop to Barnes & Noble shareholders, making GameStop a fully independent corporation. In 2008, Daniel D'Amato replaced Richard Fontaine as GameStop's CEO in August of that year. In 2010, J. Paul Raines becomes CEO of GameStop in June of 2010. And then in 2012, GameStop purchased the minority stock of the company. In 2017, GameStop announced it would close 150 stores and have a continual drop in operation income between 3 and 10%. In 2018, Michael Mueller is named the new CEO, then stepped down and was replaced by Dan Minato again, and the net sales dropped down to 3% of a total of $8.29 billion. Next, I go into the downfall years, which began in 2019. Over the year, GameStop reported a record-breaking net loss of $673 million, and also GameStop laid off 120 positions in their company, including half of the staff as part to try to revamp the business into the future and improve upon the financial performance loss that they got themselves into. In 2020, four members of the board of directors stepped down and were replaced by Reggie Fils-Aime, Bill Simmons, and J.K. Shamanic as part of the company's effort to turn things around. And in 2020, during the pandemic, GameStop closed down all operations of its stores. The board of directors took a 50% pay cut, while other executives took a 30% to offset losses. Its retail stores dropped by 30%. The chain reported to a 165 million loss in 2020 compared to 6.8 million loss in 2019. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about the incentives and what kind of different incentives there are. So first, an incentive pay plan is an employee compensation program designed to create rewards to motivate employees to reach certain goals in the organization and to help the company grow as a whole. It goes beyond a paycheck, but also offers other rewards such as a day off, gift cards, or other incentives that appeals to employees. The motivation of an employee is dependent on getting employees what you want them to do, but how would it benefit them as well is where an incentive plan can help the employees want to work hard. That was said by Dwight Eisenhower. Next, business leaders will use incentives to keep their employees wanting to work hard for the company and staying motivated. The aim of an incentive plan is to bring out certain outcomes and align employees' work performance with the organization goals. The benefit of an incentive plan is good for the company and is good for the employees. For the company, the motivation of employees grow, and also employees want to stay within the company because they feel that they're getting the right benefits. And lastly, for the company, the goals that are attainable that employees want to achieve helps the employee and helps the company grow as a whole. For the employee side, uh, the employees receive the rewards that they look forward to getting. Also, it's healthy competition for everyone involved. And lastly, it increases loyalty and boosts morale for employees. So the first incentive I'm going to be discussing is the individual. It's compensation program that will target individual employees based on the work that they perform for the company. An individual incentive promises pay for completing the task in a job position. An individual is paid on their education, their skills, their knowledge, and what they bring to the company. Lastly, an individual is paid by having a salary, commission, or hourly pay. For example, in my company Santos, in my position as a driver, we are paid through a salary and plus commission every week by the sales that we attain through our customers, a percentage of that. So there are different types of pay that they get. So there's comp comping time, which is an extra paid time off rather than overtime pay. They get cash bonuses, that is any extra money that is on top of their normal salary for completing a project. There's non-cash prizes, which is such as gift cards or other or free lunches or lunch with the boss. There's stock shares, which employees owns a small percentage of the company earnings. There's profit sharing, which gives employees a share in the company profits based on its quarterly or annual earnings. The employees are paid individually so that they can be motivated and put hard work in so they can contribute to the company in a positive way. So the company reaches their goals. Having a good individual incentive program increases the likelihood of the employees staying within the company. there are many different advantages of the individual incentive program, such as it focuses on individuals' employees' accomplishments. It also allows employees to focus solely on what they need to work on so that they can grow within the position and for the company as a whole. It gives healthy competition between employees, and it has a low employee turnover rate. The disadvantages of an individual incentive program is it creates turmoil between employees and the organization due to the competitive atmosphere. Next, it can cause certain employees to not turn in their best work, or 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 they are unmotivated to even do the work. Next, employees can cut corners and not pull their full effort into the task at work. And lastly, it will be difficult for managers to stay on top of every individual employee versus if they were working in a group. It would be easier if they were working in a group at times, depending on the group. So that goes into my next slide, which I'm going to talk about the group incentive program. The employees in the organization gets rewarded as a group rather than as individuals for the work that is performed. Next, it focuses on employees working together. The team performance determines the pay of the employees, and it helps with teamwork and togetherness in a group of employees. What are the advantages? Well, some of the advantages is easy to develop performance. It increases work production. Group tasks encourage employee participation in the group. It helps make sure everyone is held accountable to the work that they do. And lastly, teams are usually happy that they have other employees working with them, so they're not so all the work doesn't fall just on them. For example, at my company Santos, we have many projects that we work as a group that that we that we do per month, so that we can get things done in a timely manner, and for us to grow and for the company to grow as well. Some of the disadvantages is not having a consistent compensation plan due to having either full time or part time employees. No reward is based on an individual effort, which can cause an issue because if you're in a group and one person does all the work and the other person that does none of the work, then the person that does all the work feels like that they're being taken advantage of, which is not good for them. Um, and then lastly, there may be conflict and disagreements on how to do the task because of different points of view. So you can have two different points of view on how to do the assignment, but one person might think the other person is wrong, even though they could be right. So individual versus group, which is better? Well, in my opinion, individual incentives are better for a few reasons. First, it allows employees to focus on their individual accomplishments rather than as a group accomplishment. It allows employees to focus on what they need to work on to make the whole organization grow and reach the goals of the organization and reach goals for themselves as well. Uh, it allows to have healthy competition among employees, and it's a low employee turnover because it's less stress versus working in a group versus working with yourself. Next, I'm going to be discussing the merit pay incentive plan. A merit pay is when the organization pays its best workers with more money due to the performance of their work for the organization. The employee is compensated by receiving bonuses, increases, or promotions based on the goals they reach given by their employers. This ensures that the employee and the employer is in a win-win situation. The employee wins by working hard and receiving more money and their salary. Um, the employer wins by having the employee help reach the company goals of of that year. What are some of the advantages? Well, it lets employees know where they stand. So so for GameStop, if they have a merit pay plan, then they can know how what's the amount of sales that they need to reach in order to receive a merit pay plan. It helps an employee retention by staying within the company, because the more money you make, the less likely you will leave the company because you feel like you're being taken care of. It increases productivity and efficiency, because if they have these two things, then they'll have a more likely chance of maxing out on whatever money that's being offered to them. And lastly, it's healthy competition. This pay plan helps employees stay engaged by making them to compete against each other to help them make the most money for themselves. Some of the disadvantages is favoritism. Managers will most likely show favoritism towards employees who reach goals versus employees who don't reach goals. The uses of resources of the merit pay plan can be put elsewhere instead of the employees, for things that need to be taken care of. Uh, a next disadvantage is managerial burden. If the managers have the burden to track everything for the merit pay plan, then they feel like they have too much going on their plate, and then that can cause a lot of burden on the managers. Unhealthy competition. If two employees are not getting along because of the merit pay plan, then that could cause an issue in the long run. And lastly, communication trouble. Supervisors might not be able to give every employee the time or the resources that's needed to complete it to complete the merit pay plan. So that may cause an issue between the managers and the employees. There are two types of terms for an incentive plan. First is a short term. This term is normally up to a year long. Over 95% of companies use this plan. Most companies have multiple short term plans, and it increases competition and productivity. For the short term, there are many different payouts. First is the discretionary bonus plan, which is a pay plan where management determines the amount of bonus the employees would receive. This plan is not always guaranteed. The next pay plan is the spot awards. These payouts are awarded for exceptional performance for completing certain tasks for the organization. Next, there's profit sharing plan, which is a pay plan in which employees share the profit in the organization. Next, there's gain sharing plan to share the results of productivity gain. There's retention bonus, which is a reward outside of the regular pay to keep employees working in their position. And then next, there's project bonus. If you complete a certain project within the time frame, the workers would receive a a, a bonus from their employer. Next, I'm going to talk about the long term incentive plan. To this is this this the long term plan usually lasts longer than a year. Employees usually get rewarded for every 2 to 5 years. And lastly, it is based on company stock performance over a period of time. There are many different payouts for the long term, such as cash reward, which is employees will receive a cash payout based on the work that is performed. There's a phantom stock, compensation offered to upper management that confers the benefits of owning company stocks. There's also restricted stocks, which is unregistered shares of ownership in a corporation that are issued to corporate affiliates. Next, there is broad-based option plans, which is a majority of full-time employees of the corporation receiving stock options. Another payout is employee stock options, which is a stock given by an employer to buy a certain number of shares. And lastly, performance shares. This is stock compensation paid to to corporate if certain goals are met over a period of time. So how to make an incentive plan work? Well, there are many different ways, such as, will the term be defined as long or short term? What is the outcome of the incentive plan? Make incentives known to employees on how they can achieve those rewards. Results are updated frequently. They focus on goal commitment from employees, so you want to make sure that every employee knows what's going on, and so that they can commit to it. Work um on helping the employees stay motivated through the process, and then have healthy competition between the employees. Now, there are many different ways that an incentive plan doesn't work, such as it is confusing to understand. Only a certain amount of employees are rewarded, and not everybody. Failure to motivate or failure to track progress. The benefits aren't beneficial to employees, or it benefits that employees don't really want. The competition goes wrong, and there's conflict between the employees. The wrong outcome is the result, and only cash is the reward. If employees want more than just money, then that could be an issue as well if it's only cash that they get. Things to keep in mind when developing an incentive pay plan. Strike the right balance between incentives and performance. Figure out how to work your employees so that they are motivated to do well. Keep it simple. Make sure everyone understands what is in the pay plan so they are aware of everything in the incentive pay. Ask for feedback from your team, as if this is working out for them, what they need to improve on, what is the favorite part of the pay structure, how can we help you guys stay motivated to perform well. There are many different ways that you can get feedback from your team so that the incentive pay plan works. So there are many different options for a cash reward, such as monthly, quarterly, and yearly bonuses, pay raises, project bonuses, sharing profits, stock options, contests, many different options so that the employees get paid. Options for not getting paid, uh, given to employees by employers who feel through the work performance that the employees deserve it, could be such as job security, flexible work hours, mental health days, one-on-one lunch with the boss, provide extra PTO days, provide time for volunteer work, employee discounts, and mentoring other employees. For example, we just had a contest, and one of the rewards was having an extra paid time off, which I was able to use. And I was very pleased with that the company would offer something like that, and it had nothing to do with me gaining more money. So what was the limitations of my study? Well, GameStop financial limited options, too broad of suggestions, too many stores closing down, having an incentive program where every level employee understands the incentives, because not everybody understands what their company offers at GameStop. What did I use for my research? Well, I researched scholarly articles. Um, I'm a frequent GameStop customer, so I know what's going on within the company. I reviewed GameStop current standings and where they are going as a corporation. I researched GameStop articles, and I used the Amberton University Library to 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 help me with part of my research. What are my recommendations for GameStop? Well, competing with buying games online by lowering prices in store. If if in the store they can lower the prices of their games, then then I know that customers will wanna go to the store to buy the game so that they can save more money rather than buying the game online for the full price. Next is motivate associates to meet sales goals in a month. Come up with training programs where where they are trained on how to reach a sales goal so that the company can stop closing down. Have an open environment where people are aware of what products they sell other than video games. You can have different things that you can sell in the store that's not video games related, and customers will want to come just for that. And having a better work culture. if you have a good work culture, then employees will want to work hard for you. Also, communicate with team the incentive programs. Work on activities to learn how to understand the incentives. Motivate employees to want to work for GameStop. Um, if you have if you have motivated employees, they will want to work hard for you, because they feel like they are being treated right and they're taken care of, and that's what employees look for. Lastly, GameStop should have better performance appraisals by having performance evaluations to evaluate performance and to help the employees in their career development. In conclusion, GameStop needs to open up more stores instead of closing down and lowering new game prices so customers can come in to buy the games. GameStop needs to change its culture to adjust to the new generation. GameStop needs new innovations to keep the organization from closing down, such as game accessories, uh, anything that's not video games that they can sell in the video game store, such as accessories, headphones, gaming chairs, um, uh, different products that can make your gaming that can make your gaming experience much better. And GameStop needs to attain, retain, and motivate seasoned employees as well as new employees to keep customers wanting to come in and buy their product. Thank you, and that's the end of my presentation.